Are you looking for the best fans? In this video we will look at some of the 9 best fans on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Dreo TurboPoly Fan 508S. Dreo's flagship Polyfan 704S has been the brand's most popular pedestal fan for years, but I didn't have the best luck with my test unit, see below. Plus, I found the fan to be heavy, unwieldy, and difficult to move around compared with competing models. This year saw the release of Dreo's improvement on the Polyfan, the TurboPoly. It's not only slightly smaller and lighter than the original Polyfan, it's also billed as Dreo's quietest fan of all time. The marketing materials said 20 decibels, but I got 29 on my meter. Regardless, this is the quietest fan I've tested. Its highest wind speed is average for a pedestal fan but perfectly sufficient. It comes in white, gold, or silver and sports 9 speeds, can oscillate vertically or horizontally, and has smart capabilities, Google Assistant, Alexa, and control through the Dreo app, which also includes a 12-hour timer and the ability to set a schedule. It's got a cool RGB ring light on the back, controllable via remote or via a button on the fan itself. At number 2. Dreo Tower Fan 519. Sporting a round display at the top that lends a sort of retro speedometer vibe, the 519S is Dreo's first brushless fan. This means it uses an electronic system instead of physical brushes in its DC motor, extending its life and ostensibly requiring less maintenance. Though its top wind speed is nowhere near as impressive as the MC706, this fan is still no slouch at 1,100 feet per m. It's got 9 speed settings, as well as all the goodies you'd expect from a mid-range smart fan, including a timer option, sleep mode, a remote, and operability through the Dreo app, Siri, Alexa, and Google Home. The only downside I found is that the display lights automatically shut off after a short time, and I wish there were a way to disable this. Paired with the quiet motor, there was more than one occasion during my testing period where I inadvertently left it on overnight, as I didn't realize it was running in another room as I walked by. Regardless, this is about as feature-packed and reliable a tower fan you can buy for around $100. There's a non-smart version that's even cheaper. At number 3. Vornado VFan Vintage Air Circulator. The VFan series is an official re-release of Vornado's original 1945 classic, in authentically retro colors like off-white and green. Just like the first version, it's all metal with 3 features: it turns on, it turns off, and it can run at high or low speed. That's it. No apps, remotes, oscillation, lights, or other doodads. It's awesome. Even the box it comes in has a vintage look, which makes it a good potential gift for dads, grads, or even a co-worker. I tested the small but more powerful Mini and the larger but slightly quieter Junior, which are both desk or table-sized fans. At their lowest speeds they run 275 and 413 feet per minute, respectively, which is strong enough for a hot day but not so strong as to be distracting or blow too many papers all over the place. If you want to use it as a desk fan, I found the 6-foot cord plenty long enough. Note that there are also larger senior and pedestal versions if you like the look but need something bigger. At number 4. Vornado Box Fan Model 80X. As unbecoming as this may be for a fan reviewer to admit, I didn't think I liked box fans. Why have this big, ugly, industrial-looking thing in your house when there are so many other cool-looking fans that do cool things? I wondered. And then I tested Vornado's Model 80X. It has 99 speeds, the brand's rep told me when it came out. Yeah, right, I thought. But, sure enough, this thing actually has 99 speeds, accessible via up and down buttons. I have no idea under what circumstance one might need this many speeds, but if you're picky about your airflow, the 80X is one to consider. It's also got a kickstand to reduce wobbling, a digital display, and a 1 to 12 hour timer. Plus, the silver and black casing looks good, like you meant to have it in your house, not a remnant from that one summer your AC broke during a heat wave. At number 5. Gisulife Handheld Mini Fan. This category is overrun with entries from auto-named Amazon brands like InstaCool, Gaatop, and my personal favorite, Hot Sales, but this Gisulife is recommended all over the place. When folded down it's roughly the shape of a full-sized, pill-shaped candy bar, with plastic ears and a printed-on bare mouth. pry open the front, not always easy with short nails, so often I had to use something else, and it extends to become a two-bladed, two-speed fan. It's also got a flashlight on the bottom and a USB output to serve as an emergency power source. The fan is stronger than I expected, measuring 472 feet per minute on my anemometer, but due to its small size, you still have to be very close to feel the breeze. And this means you will frequently bump it on your neck, phone, sunglasses, etc. It turns itself off when this happens, so every time I used it during the testing period I felt like I turned it off about 10 times. However, it's reasonably quiet at 44 dB on low, and you won't really notice it outdoors amid lots of ambient noise. It only weighs about 4 ounces and is small enough to slip into a pocket. I also like the fact it comes in 6 colors. Where this fan really excels, however, is its battery life. The packaging says it can last up to 19 hours on one charge. While I did not leave the fan on non-stop for this length of time, I was able to use it intermittently over the course of 5 days on a single charge. It also held its charge after a month on a shelf, with both the fan and flashlight operating strong as ever. At number 6. Aimdty ChillGo Bladeless Neck Fan. As is the case with handheld personal fans, Amazon is overrun with word salad brands whose neck fan offerings all look more or less interchangeable. So in vetting fans, I looked for a combination of brands that have been around a while with at least a year of positive reviews, plus battery life beyond the typical 4000 mAh. The ChillGo was appealing because not only did it meet these criteria, it's foldable and fits into a little faux suede bag you can throw in a tote or backpack. The ends are also bendable, so you can angle them at just the right spot. I tested this during a week-long trip in southern Louisiana, where the heat and humidity were often too much for my Pacific Northwest dwelling self. I definitely got some stares walking around Audubon Park. I thought they looked enough like headphones so as not to attract attention, but my almost 13-year-old son assured me they do not. If you do choose to wear a neck fan, you need to accept that you will embarrass your kids. The reading of 49 dB on my decibel meter surprised me, as it doesn't sound that loud outdoors amid all the ambient noise. The noise didn't seem bothersome, and I didn't feel like I had to talk over it. The fan does feel a little heavy after a while, and I didn't like that I couldn't feel any air blowing on the back of my neck, since the vents in back point straight up. However, it did operate off and on the entire time with only one charge. I'll definitely take a less comfortable fan all day instead over a more comfortable fan for half the day. At number 7. FlexBreeze Fan with InstaCool Mist Attachment. Unlike more utilitarian misting fans, the FlexBreeze looks great. With its matte black finish and contemporary gold accents, it wouldn't be out of place amid a style-forward deck or patio setup. It also helps that it has a remote, allowing for discrete adjustments of its angle and 5 speed settings. It also happens to be one of the quietest fans I've tested. The mist deployed by the detachable misting attachment, update May 2025, Shark now makes a version with a tank, is a bit on the heavy side. It made most of my deck quite wet and dampened the clothes of anyone sitting within 5 or so feet. On the plus side, this meant the mist didn't immediately blow away, as was the case with the FlexBreeze portable sibling, the $150 HydroGo, below. The Shark is rechargeable, so it can be used without an electrical outlet nearby, and the head detaches from the pedestal with legs that fold out, allowing it to double as an easy-to-transport floor fan. Shark claims the FlexBreeze can reduce nearby ambient temperature by 10 degrees with the misting attachment. Though I was never able to measure a reduction of more than 6 degrees using multiple thermometers, the difference in air temperature using the FlexBreeze versus without is dramatic enough to make the difference between an unbearable summer dinner outside and a pleasant one. At number 8. Vornado Fly Max High Velocity Fitness Fan. A fitness fan, you might be asking yourself? Does one really need a special fan just for riding a Peloton or running on the treadmill? I wouldn't have thought so, but that was before I tried the Fly Max. I live in a neighborhood filled with steep hills, so I find myself running indoors on a treadmill anytime the thought of scaling a steep hill is just too unappealing to manage. Which, I'll be honest, is most days. This fan has turned this activity from a hot, sweaty, unpleasant mess into something I don't mind doing even on a hot day. I've used other fans next to my treadmill before, but the makers of the Fly Max have thought of everything to make this as perfect as can be for indoor workouts. It doesn't oscillate, but it does tilt 180 degrees to the angle where you need it, and the airflow is meant to simulate air resistance while exercising outdoors. My favorite feature, there's a little round magnetic remote with a cradle on a Velcro strap that you can attach to your machine to turn the fan on and off or up and down. It fits perfectly around the handle on my treadmill. It looks like a watch, but an icon on the back reiterates that it most certainly is not. I wish the fan cord were a little longer, and I wish it had a handle for moving around, as it is heavy and bulky, but overall this is an amazing addition to any indoor workout room or machine. Vornado makes another fitness fan, the FlyMove, $70, which is small, USB-C rechargeable with a 17-hour runtime. I haven't tested this, but I have also used it for a week's worth of hour-long workouts and never had it run out, and has a leather-esque strap for carrying. The output is not super powerful at 750 feet per minute. It's not adjustable and sits right on the floor, propped up by a little bumper, so it's mostly good for floor work, but I have found I love putting it on a weight bench to keep me cool while I do my reps. At number 9. Shark TurboBlade Ultra Powerful Bladeless Tower Fan. Though this newer bladeless fan from Shark, read our full review here, is billed as a tower fan, it doesn't look or act like any tower fan I've ever seen. It evokes a windmill more than it does a fan, with a horizontal bar that sits on a telescoping base, like a big T. The ends of the bar, which are articulated, feature the vents, and each end can be bent straight up, straight down, or at any point in between for fully customizable air direction. The whole bar can also be turned vertically to look more like an eye, if you'd rather have a breeze going up and down instead of side to side. It has all the usual features you'd expect of a fan at this price point, including 10 speeds, oscillation, a magnetic remote, and 3 settings, including sleep, which makes sense as the TurboBlade, in its T configuration, is about the right height for a bed. It's a great choice if you need airflow in different directions at once, but be forewarned that it makes a fairly loud, jet engine-like whine, which is noticeable even on lower settings.